All right, well, now that we've learned a lot about each other, we'll go ahead and start the meeting. Sorry for the late start, everyone. It's been a little bit of a holiday season, end of November morning. So welcome to the November 29th special events team meeting. This may be our last of the year, of the chronological year. Probably, maybe. Most likely as we get into the busy holiday season and folks are in and out and events dwindle down, at least compared to September, which is our heavy month, August and September. Administrative function, just bring everybody together so that event organizers and we who make sure that the events are safe and fun for everyone are all in the same place and can get on board with plans, make sure everything, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. So no decisions here today, but a good opportunity just to collaborate on these events for our community. So we will start as per usual with introductions around the table. I'll go around the table first and then call on folks online. But then as we go through questions after our event organizer, I will try to remember to call on folks in the order at which they would be sitting around the table, which is, I believe, a very deliberate seating order on Kelly's behalf to keep us organized. So let's start with the Ada County Highway District.
John Wasson, Ada County Highway District.
Tanya Motisi, Ada County Highway District.
Vince Vergara, City of Boise Parking.
Julianne Hagler, City Risk Management.
Summer Altieri, Boise Parks and Rec.
Jesse Tappert, Boise Fire Prevention.
Joe Deathman, Boise Fire Operations.
Taylor Gomez, Boise Police.
Matthew Konvalinka, Boise Police.
Rachel Holbert, City of Boise Emergency Preparedness.
Dino Sugar, City Clerk Office.
Kelly Frank, City Clerk's Office.
And Ed.
Hi, Ed Graves, Public Works.
And Sierra with a C.
City of Boise, I'm Sierra Garichan, City of Boise Office of Community Engagement.
Sierra with an S.
Sierra Padilla Hewitt, Downtown Boise Association.
Any other team members online? Thanks for having your cameras on, you guys. It's nice to see your faces. All right. And I'm Maria Wague with the Office of Community Engagement here at the City of Boise. We have one event today, the YMCA Christmas Run. Welcome back, David. We are well. It's not your first rodeo, so we'll let you go through the presentation and then open it up for questions.
Okay. So we got our YMCA Christmas Run Jingle Bell Jog going on this year. This is another one of our legacy events. It's probably our second biggest event that we do in the calendar year, Famous Potato being the largest, our marathon. We have a few changes that we've kind of talked with certain of you about already, but we'll kind of run through those here. Historically, like I said, this event has been our biggest or second biggest, definitely the biggest in the second half of the year, averaging about 2,500 people. After the pandemic, we've only reached about 1,400. We're projecting about 1,600 this year. We're trying to get those numbers back, and we're going to do a few things differently to try to coax people out of hiding, especially on a cold day. About the event, it's been over 30 years of tradition. Some of the fun things with this one that I like is I was talking to a gentleman at the YMCA who has run this 6-mile course every year for 25 years. And he says he's done it with his wife that way. And it's become a tradition, a holiday tradition downtown at the north end particularly. But this is one of those events that we like to see as a legacy event in the city of Boise. We feel like it enriches the community that we have here and provides opportunities to bring new people in the community to be a part of our group. Like I said, we do have some changes. Let me explain kind of the background on why these changes are happening. I'm flying solo these days. If you knew Chad, he moved on. He chased a big stack of green paper out to Caldwell Parks and Rec, and hopefully he's happy out there. I mean, I think it was better working at the Y, but He's moved on, and then also my race administrator has moved on. So right now I'm doing the jobs of 3 people. And so one of the things that I've tried to do with this event is compress it a little bit to make it more logistically manageable, less demanding on volunteers, on myself, and just kind of make things as efficient as possible. So at the finish fair, we plan to start on the backside of Boise High School this year instead of, we've kind of reversed things around. We'll start on the backside on Franklin Street and head west on Franklin to 13th Street, where we'll hit 13th, and then it'll be a simple out and back course up 13th, where traditionally it's been a kind of a loop where we've gone all the way to 15th, up to Lemp, over to 12th and down. We're going to try to just use 13th Street as our main thoroughfare. So we'll start on Franklin, go to 13th, up and back, finish on Washington right in front of Boise High School there. And then one of the things that we're going to do this year is incorporate kind of a finish fair food truck area. Traditionally, one of the wise responsibilities that we have done is we've provided food for people at the end as the YMCA. And logistically, I'm trying to allow somebody else that responsibility. So I have a list of those outside vendors there, 3 food trucks, and then I'm banking pretty heavily. People will want some warm coffee afterwards, and 4 coffee trucks to provide our food for after the event. That list is the list of all people who are being contacted and currently contracting or making an arrangement with it. That will be the most number of people on site. It could be maybe 1 or 2 less. Just so you know, over there in Boise Fire, I'm going to have them parked 10 feet apart. Just so you know, yeah. And because I don't want you to have any issues. And stickers. And I've got this great template that Kelly's given me that I'm filling in with all the license numbers as well. So that's going in, and I've reached out to Dinko a little bit and just submitted my permit for that. So I'm trying to get things going as best as I can there. But it's going to be a fun event. If you've done it before, we bring everybody together. We get the race started by Santa Claus. Santa Claus will be there. We get everybody excited and we start them off on the course. One of the nice things about the changes this year, you could see the courses here. We have a 1 mile, a 2-ish mile, and then a 6-mile loop. The Hyde Park area, the business association, 2 vendors or 2 businesses that I've spoken to about it currently are very excited about the prospect. Java Coffee is excited about doing kind of like a motivation station down there, getting people from the north end to Hyde Park and cheering people on, which has strategically been difficult in the past just because the course has been spread out along 2 streets. So we feel like compressing it might actually be better for Hyde Park and creating a fun venue, a fun atmosphere for the north end to cheer people on. Also, we're able to guard the streets a little bit better since it's just one single street. I kind of took the pattern of our Harrison Classic after this, where I anticipate we will fully close down 13th Street with a hard closure, whereas in the past we have typically had an open course with cars passing in and out, and it's been a little bit hectic. So we're going to do a hard closure following that pattern. But it'll be good. I think these courses, they don't change very much, but they do enrich the feeling of the event going through Hyde Park, I believe. Traffic control, you can see I've instructed AWP to kind of give me the most substantial amount of coverage that they can give me for this event. They've committed substantial resources. I did talk to them on behalf of John at ACHD and kind of threatened them that if they don't pick up their product within 12 to 24 hours, then I get a $100 deduction off my bill for every 6 hours that it's still out there. They didn't like that, by the way. But hopefully they follow through. They need to be aware that those products need to be picked up in time for sure. This will also cut down a little bit on the number of volunteers required, which has always been a struggle at some of these events. Typically, we get about 60 volunteers signed up and about half of them show up on race day. So setting up the race in this way helps me compress my need as far as manpower, and it'll be good. I did talk to Matt a little bit about guarding. I know we have a conflict with the Famous Potato Bowl that day. We did have a little discussion about how to ensure safety on the course for the amount of time. And I think we came up with a plan of Boise PD getting us set. And then with I think we have 6 BME, Boise Motor Escort personnel, and about 4 to 6 React traffic control volunteers also helping us out. And I think as soon as we establish a perimeter and get things set, we should be able to keep that secure until the end of the event. But we anticipate closing only 13th between Washington and Heron. All the other streets will be open on the side. And the 6-mile course, as you see it here, runs up 8th Street, cuts over onto Highland, and then comes back. Here's a better visual of that. So they run up 8th Street, cut over onto Highland, and then run back. They will be on the side of the road on the shoulders, with some volunteers in some key places just to make sure they're visible. But the other thing I wanted to do here is have our race run counter to oncoming traffic so that our spectators can actually see oncoming traffic instead of having it come up behind them. So that was another consideration. Just a few more things here. I think I already kind of mentioned all of these sections as far as guarding the roads. We'll practice kind of the same protocol we do for our Harrison Classic as far as enforcing a closure. Our race starts at 10 a.m. We did at one point talk about switching the order of our events to having the 6-mile and 2-mile run first. Just logistically, it would put too many people running into the back end of other people. But one nice thing that happens with this out and back is that I only have to wait for the 1-milers to run a third of a mile before I can start everybody else. So it does cut down on the amount of time between the 1-mile run and everybody else. So 10 o'clock, the 1-mile run will start. As soon as they round that turnaround for them, which is right there at Resigi, I can send everybody else down the road. And so I'm looking at less than 10 minutes gap before we start the remainder. And then we don't have to worry about anybody running into the back end of anybody having the most space on the course we possibly can provide as well. We'll start the closure at 9:30. Hard closure will be enforced from 9:45, and then we'll keep it closed until the last finisher comes in. And typically that's right around noon, and we'll open up the course right after that. Neighborhood notification. So this one, I know we had some concern about, moving the course. The only thing that I have heard as a complaint was one of the board members of the North End Neighborhood Association lives on 15th, and he liked not having to go anywhere to watch the race. But everybody else, and including him, he's provided I believe you got a note from Autumn at the North End Neighborhood Association. She said she was going to send you a note kind of in support of the event, because the North End Neighborhood Association loves this event. They're willing to do anything they can for this event. They have a group of volunteers that they're going to contribute to me to help anywhere I need along 13th. They're working with their friends and connections in the North End Business Association area to make this as fun and fancy as possible. Like I said there before, also the North End businesses have been supportive so far. I've only spoken directly with 2, but I'm to the point where I'm going to go walk the beat a little bit, pass out flyers. My plan is Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. Flyers are going to go out to that area, and A-frame signs will be put up talking about parking restrictions on 13th Street as well. So those are going to go out as early as possible this week. Medical plan, we have 2 lifeguards that will be 2 of our YMCA lifeguards, which are the best lifeguards, by the way. I always give them a plug because they do such a good job for us. But 2 lifeguards will be at the Boise High Quad area to support our start and finish. We're going to place 2 of our lifeguards up at the aid station, which will be at the apex of the 6-mile run, because we know that's the furthest out and kind of difficult to get to. They'll be out there at the aid station with a golf cart so that they can move around as easily as possible. And then my plan is to have Ada County paramedics either on standby at their location there at Ride and Bond 17th, because they do have a station there. Or if they feel like being closer, having a position for them at Lemp and 13th so that they can easily access 8th Street or Highland Park. Right. So sorry about that. My brain got a little confused. But that's the plan there. They'll be on standby, and I've got a note into them to confirm they're available. Sanitation, we plan on having 10 porta potties, standard 2 ADA facilities, and then we do have access inside Boise High School for restrooms as well. We'll use our on-site trash and recycling dumpsters that are located at the YMCA and at Boise High School. And then we have a large assortment already of trash boxes and recycling bins that we can use as well. So that's my brief presentation for today.
It's fantastic. Thank you. Really appreciate the attention to detail and the relationship with the neighborhood association. It makes things so much easier. Let's go ahead and start with ACHD.
We're good. I'm just pending your review of your traffic control.
And let's go to Ed.
Well, thank you. Good morning. Just a couple of quick questions. So, one, you already have all of your trash and recycling containers. Like, so do you need to borrow any from me?
I don't anticipate needing to borrow anything from you this time. We have a substantial collection resident at the YMCA, and it is kind of nice that this event happens out my back door. So we should not have a need to borrow from you this time.
Okay, well, great. Well, if you do, please do not hesitate to reach out. Be happy to supply you if you need any backups on those.
Thank you.
And then secondly, just I know you checked it on your application, but definitely electronically distribute that vendor low waste guide to all of your food vendors, just to give them another chance to reread that. And hopefully they've all seen it, but yeah, just to give them a chance to read that again. And then also, okay, so you're using existing dumpsters for everything, so you don't need to order any from Conrad or anything.
Correct. Yeah, split between the YMCA's dumpsters and Boise High's dumpsters. We anticipate being okay.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you. That's all I've got. Have a wonderful event.
Thank you very much.
Vince?
David, thank you for explaining the neighborhood notification and all the parts of the parking. So we're set in parking, but thank you so much.
Hi, David. I'm still waiting on your certificate of insurance, and that's all we need from you.
Okay, I've got that. I'll just send it right over.
Downtown Boise?
Hi, David. Nice to see you. Thanks for the details on your neighborhood notification plan. We are all good on my end.
Parks doesn't have anything, but I gotta say, I love this new route and what a good way to showcase all the local people or all the local businesses in Hyde Park. It's awesome.
I love that endorsement.
You already mentioned the food trucks, so you're on top of that, and it looks like you're
Yes,
only, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, quickly,
Easy.
we'll go to Sierra.
This is Sarah. Hi, David. Thanks for all the work you're doing on this one. I don't have anything for this. You're already on top of the traffic control, kind of getting them to clean up. I noticed that was one thing for the turkey trot. So you're already on it. Best of luck with the event.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Sierra. Anyway, food trucks, good to go. Looks like you're only having 4 pop-up tents for this event.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
so from a fire prevention standpoint, we're good. Thank you.
From the operation side, it looks like you've met the medical matrix as far as your EMTs and stuff like that. That looks great. The only other thing I'd recommend for that is for your volunteers, if you can have them have the what 3 words.
Yep, they've got that. And then the
Pulse point would be
Pulse
the other one.
point.
Those things are great.
Yep.
And so if you can just do that, if you do have an aid station or you start setting those up, a good idea for you is to put the location of the aid station, because if they do get some event, they can, instead of having to think about it, they can look at it and call and say, we're at this location. So you can post those at your aid stations and things like that. That'd be helpful, but it looks good to me. Thank you.
okay, perfect.
David, we're all good. I'll just get you a labor agreement here either later today or tomorrow, but other than that, see any issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for meeting with us in advance with the change of the route and for all the legwork you've done, no pun intended, in talking to the businesses and also the North End Neighborhood Association. That is huge. It sounds like it's going to be a tremendous event. The only ask I have of you is we will need to confirm that Ada County Paramedics is going to be on site, and that has to be contracted because your event does require at least a paramedic. And I know we did talk about that, so we'll just need confirmation from Ada County on that. And then the rest of it, just please keep us in the loop as things progress. And I do believe you also mentioned you were going to attempt to do signage in advance so that those living and enjoying that neighborhood would be aware this event was going to be closing 13th. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, that's part of the flyers going out and A-frame signs throughout 13th Street, notifying everybody driving through.
Perfect. We really appreciate that. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you for sending over your vendor list. And we'll take just a look at that. Dinko with the health department, we'll need a copy of it if you haven't sent it to him already.
Yeah.
And as far as your portable restrooms, are they going to be placed in various locations on the course?
No, I believe we have one placed at the apex of the course near the aid station, but then on the map here of the finish fair, they're down there along the backside of the YMCA where it says facilities
Okay,
in the green.
okay. I just wanted to make sure if they were scattered throughout the course or 13th Street or any side streets or anything that you got proper permitting, and then obviously had them picked up.
Yeah,
and then-
not for the
timeframe.
2 mile. Hopefully nobody
Okay.
needs the facility in a 2 mile run. But,
Okay. Sounds great. If you need anything else from me, don't hesitate to reach out.
Will do. Thanks,
Thanks.
Kelly.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good luck with all of your hats that you're
Appreciate
wearing
it.
right now.
Yeah, I've got a few quality candidates coming up. So hopefully I can get 1 or 2 of them on board.
Oh,
So,
fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, wanted to just check in on a few of the events that are still waiting approval. First up is the Boise Holiday Parade. Is anybody still looking for anything for that? You think we're good on that? Okay. Boise Bicycle Project Holiday Bike Giveaway. We're good
No.
on that?
Yeah, I think we're close to issuing that permit. Just a couple people still need to sign off, but
Okay.
as long as there's no issues that anybody needs assistance with in order to do that. So that's a week from Saturday. Okay.
Okay. And then just a touch further out is the Idaho Potato Drop.
So on that one, I know several of us are waiting on some finalized information. We do have the safety and security meeting this week.
Oh, great.
And we are planning to be able to wrap it up on Thursday in that meeting. And if we do have any outstanding items, we'll get that over to the group immediately.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Sounds great. And we'll be meeting on site this morning too with them to talk about the placement of the crane.
Oh,
and
great. Yeah.
All that fun stuff. So if anybody didn't get an invite and you would like to go, stand out in the cold.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order? All right. Thank you, everyone.